Hey guys, and welcome to Pirate Hunter Traffy. On Sunday, May 7, 2023, what were thought to be spoilers for One Piece Chapter 1083 got out. The leak set up a fascinating and interesting issue in which Sabo finally reveals everything about the Reverie. The leaks also say that the Holy Knights, who are probably the forces of Mary Joie and the Celestial Dragons who live there, will be presented as new enemies, and the spoilers also hint at the identity of one of the Holy Knights. I promise you're going to enjoy these spoilers, so be sure to watch all the way through because, as usual, they get better and better as we get deeper into the chapter. The cover page for Chapter 1083, The Truth of That Day, features our favorite bad guy, Doflamingo. Dragon and Sabo begin the chapter by discussing the Eight Kingdoms' uprising against the global government, which was previously discussed in Sabo's Flame Emperor chapter. Sabo was revealed to have greater influence than Dragon, since he had taken on the rebel spokesperson role. Additionally, we see the silhouettes of these 9 Holy Knights, and Dragon appears to be getting ready to fight them. The global government has dispatched the God Knights, or Holy Knights, to deal with these 8 countries that are united in opposition to them, as well as Sabo and the revolutionaries, since they have all ceased paying the heavenly tribute. It's intriguing because we can see the knight-like statues that built the world, and we know that these knights were significant to Mary Joie and the Celestial Dragons' history and culture. I'm curious about the potential strength of these Holy Knights, but what interests me even more is Dragon's suggestion that he is aware of them. Does this imply that Dragon is very knowledgeable about Celestial Dragons? Dragon might have known too much about them, which might have led him down the revolutionary path. I particularly like the notion that Dragon knows so much more, which may be the reason Oda saved Dragon for last, due to the possibility that learning more about Dragon's past will shed light on both the genuine ancient kingdom and the full history of the Will of D and Celestial Dragons. The spoilers also reveal that these Holy Knights are pursuing the 8 nations. Thus, confrontations between Sabo and other revolutionaries and the Holy Knights will likely take place in order to defend these new friends. I simply have so many thoughts regarding the Holy Knights, because either they are citizens who have been formally initiated into the Celestial Dragon by some ritual, or they are genuinely committed to upholding the gods' established protection. We already know that foreigners can't turn into Celestial Dragons, after all. So, is it conceivable that these Holy Knights are committed individuals? I'm eager to learn how powerful the Holy Knights are. Are they equally or less powerful than the Admirals? In relation to the Gorosei, how powerful are they? They seem to be less strong than these 2 groupings if I had to guess, but if there are really 9 of them, it's possible that they're actually powerful. We don't yet have any evidence or information concerning them, but the fact that Dragon is the only one who is aware of them may be crucial. But right now, it's obviously just conjecture. When we talk about the Admirals, we get to see a bit of the fight between Sabo and the Admirals. The spoiler says that the flashback starts in Mary Joie, where we see parts of the fight between the revolutionaries and the Admirals. So, we see Sabo, Lindbergh, Morley, and Karasu fighting the Admirals. I can't wait to see Karasu, especially because his skills are all about crows, and he looks so cool. I'd also like to know more about Lindbergh, who seems to have fought against the Admirals at some point, but he and Bello Betty are mostly helping to set Kuma free. I really like Lindbergh's look, and he might be the most fun because he has so many weapons. So, I can't wait to see what kind of weapons he uses against the Admirals. When it comes to the actual fight, the spoiler says that Karasu attacks Admiral Fujitora by shooting his crows at him, and that he also stabs Admiral Green Bull for some reason. I've been thinking though, that since Green Bull is a Logia, he could just regenerate. Also, keep in mind that the Admirals are in a tough spot because they have to protect the home of the Celestial Dragons. Fujitora can't just start choking on meteors, and even Green Bull has to hold back in this setting and not go all out. Sabo has already faced Fujitora twice and Green Bull here, so I hope we get to see a third and final rematch between him and the Admirals. Since Sabo and the Admirals are both top members of Bull Touch the War and have worked together in the past, it would be really cool to see them fight. It looks like the stage is being set for a final showdown between them. Sabo and the other rebels wanted to free Kuma and start a fight. Both of these goals were reached with Sabo breaking the sign of the Celestial Dragon hooves. Also, these teasers tell us that they were able to burn down the flag of the world government, which was a sign of war. We also find out that this war has already started. Dragon tells us that the revolutionaries have destroyed supply ships going to Marie-Joie, so we're in the middle of it. But going on, these spoilers aren't very clear because they only say that CP0 steps in. So CP0 gets involved in a fight between the Admirals and the Rebels, which is interesting because Lucci and CP0 were at the Reverie Station at the time. If we look back at chapter 1054, The Flame Emperor, we can see that the top of the Celestial Dragons are dealing with a charge. It is said in the charge that Saint Musegard let Sabo and the intruders get away. If you remember, Musegard helped Shirohoshi during the Reverie by fighting Charles and CP0. Charles and CP0 couldn't help because Musegard was also a Celestial Dragon. Now we know that CP0 does what the Celestial Dragon tells him to do because Lucci said that they are gods and will get whatever they say. If we know that Musegard helped the intruders escape, and we know that CP0 steps in here, we can figure out that Musegard may have told CP0 to step in during the fight between the revolutionaries and the Admirals, letting Sabo, his crew, Kuma, Bonnie, and Vivi all escape. And since we're talking about Vivi, there's a tease that says she had CP0. So, like with Shirahoshi, this could all be tied together by the Most Guard trying to throw us off again. If Mosgar told CP0 to give Vivi and keep her safe, that could have been how she got away again. The next rumor says that Cobra takes a long-lasting shotgun pill and goes into Gorosei's room to take care of Vivi. If you remember, Sabo was blamed for killing Cobra, but now it looks like either the goddess or Imu did it. Since the Lucius chapter makes it seem like Sabo knows Imu exists, it makes sense that he tried to save Cobra but failed and was blamed for it. If you remember the battle in Alabasta, Cobra was shocked when Robin told him about the poneglyphs, and that putting them together tells the story of the Void Sentry that has been hidden and criminalized by the world government. This probably was Cobra's awakening. When he began truth-seeking, he discovered some dark details about Alabasta and their connections to Imu in the world government. Since the Nefertaris are, in a weird way, kind of like celestial dragons, they were cut off from the family, but they do have those roots. Cobra knew that by confronting the Gorosei, this would be his final moment, since he's confronting them about things they've been hiding for years. Or, these spoilers imply that he somehow figured out the importance of Vivi, specifically since we did see Imu with a picture of Vivi, Shirahoshi, Luffy, and Blackbeard. I really hope we get to see more in One Piece chapter 1084, which hints at the mysterious Imu in the final moments of the Reverie before cutting back to a good story. I also noticed one of these spoilers says we'll see a newspaper in which the news of the corpse of King Cobra is presented. It's so interesting because Big News Morgans is currently with Vivi, if we're thinking now. So another way to think about it is, how did he present this information? And maybe CP0 was trying to capture Vivi, but since we know that Big News Morgans already won against CP0 in a previous chapter, could it be that he's protecting them from CP0? The following last spoiler of 1083 is just nuts. First off, we see a fleet which could be Dragon's fleet wanting to go against the Holy Knights, or probably Shanks' fleet. This is because in chapter 907, we saw Shanks at the Reverie in Marie-Joie. And if Shanks' fleet is going against the Holy Knights, then this spoiler is breaking the One Piece world because we seem to may have received the identity of one of the Holy Knights, and it's truly shocking. It turns out one of the knights is none other than Shanks himself. Either that or Shanks is a twin brother. According to the spoilers, one of the 9 holy knights has a sword and looks like Shanks, even sporting the same sword and robe. Additionally, he is reported to have a sword on his left side, just like Shanks, raising the possibility that he is either a relative of Shanks or even Shanks himself. What do you think? Could Shanks be in cahoots with the world government? Is he joining his brother? Please share with us your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate your support.